Hello, everyone. This is exciting.
The time has finally come.
The time has come.
Are we here?
So hello, everyone. Welcome. This is the Valhalla's Most Wanted first podcast, episode 1. You're in for a special treat. My name is Platinum, and let's go around.
My name is Outlaw.
Hi, my name is Wames.
Since we're abbreviating, I'm Wolves.
Yeah. The full name is down below, so it's all good. And this is obviously our very first episode, so thank you so much for joining us. We do have a official Valhalla Twitter, and that's VMW Stream, so you can absolutely follow us there if you like what we do, and you can get updates. As well as using hashtag VMW Talks. That's a way you can ask questions for us if you have any questions or even suggestions for future topics. And then also, if you have any questions today, because we have a Q&A segment at the end of the hour, you can actually just ask that in chat as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about Valhalla, of all things. What a surprise.
Whoa.
We like
I
to
did not
keep
see that
updated.
coming.
I know.
This is not what I signed up for.
And there's like a little thing that happened recently where one of our own had 2 weddings or something. So maybe we should talk about that, Wolves.
Yeah, we had 2 weddings. Queen and I keep joking we need a 3rd one back in New York.
I think that sounds reasonable.
No.
I mean, might as well get it in double digits.
Some extra ones, you know?
But yeah, so we had the first one on April Fool's, April 1st here in South Carolina where we currently live. And that was, friends and family and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were in Turkey for 2.5, almost 3 weeks. And we had a second wedding in Turkey on July 1st for all of her family. Because for those that don't know, Queen is Turkish. And she was born in Staten Island, but her parents were both born technically not in Turkey, but they're Turkish. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we had over 350-ish people, I believe, at the wedding in Turkey.
Wow.
And 90% of them didn't speak English. So there's a tradition in Turkey where the bride and groom stand there, and in American weddings, like you greet people as they enter and they sit, and you kind of do that. In Turkey, you do something similar, except they pin money on you.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So-
Yeah,
The
I
money
I
dance?
saw that photo.
Isn't it a money dance?
It's not a dance. No,
Oh.
you just stand there. And
Oh.
like you greet everyone and they pin money on you. So
Wow.
normally like the bride side pin on them and the groom side pins on me, but I didn't have a groom side. So there's a lot of nice people in her family who pinned on me.
Oh,
Otherwise it would have been very disproportionate. But like they're coming up and they're speaking Turkish, so I'm just smiling and like greeting and like so normally you greet, like you can shake hands, but you go in and you kiss either side of the cheek. Like you don't usually even kiss, you just touch cheeks and like that.
Right.
Okay.
The men, apparently in Turkey, they have a new tradition where it's starting where they don't kiss, they just kind of bump like temples. But like
Okay.
I didn't know when a guy was gonna bump my temple and when a guy was gonna kiss. It was really awkward at times when he bumps temples. I'm like I didn't get the hang of that. And then if they are a senior, you pay deference to them. You kind of kiss at their hand and you kiss at their forehead, and then you.
So how is the
Interesting.
language barrier? I feel like that's a big one.
I mean, I
Yeah.
sat there on my phone 90% of the time. Queen did a
Oh,
mediocre
that's
job
so
at translating.
sad.
You didn't even
Queen-
have like Google Translate going on,
No.
Just please speak into the phone.
Queen's Turkish is really good, but she doesn't speak it all the time. So when she switches to Turkish, she sometimes has a half-second delay as she has to remember how to go into Turkish. So then she doesn't always translate everything to English to me.
Yeah.
So there'll be times where I'm like, what are we doing? Like, well, we talked about it. We're going here. I'm like, was that conversation in Turkish? She's like, oh, it may have been. But otherwise, it was fine. Like, it was a lot of fun. I mean, they were very welcoming. It was a lot of fun. But it was just very overwhelming sometimes.
So
I bet.
And there's pictures.
obviously you had the Turkish wedding, and then you had the your other wedding in wherever you live. I forget.
Yeah, South Carolina. We
And
had
how
that
was
one on
that?
April 1st. The April Fool's wedding was really good.
That was the one you streamed, right?
April Fools.
Yeah, we streamed a little bit at the beginning. I was walking down doing the wedding, and then Undead was really nice and did like a little montage on the Valhalla's YouTube channel of it as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
But that was
did.
about
Cool.
80 people. That was much smaller, so that was
Mm.
really nice. So
Yeah, he
that
did.
was more relaxed, more fun. Like it was good. I mean, the turkey one was fun, but like I said, I couldn't talk to half the people. So,
Yeah.
but they were both really good weddings. They were a lot of fun.
Oh, very cool.
And if anyone wants to have our YouTube account, by all means, we can post the YouTube account in the chat. If you guys want to follow that.
And as you can see, we have the lovely queen right there in her wedding dress.
Yeah, she's so pretty. So, man, two weddings I feel like is a lot. Like
It
sounds like
yeah,
one
that is
was
a
a
lot.
lot.
It's intense. Like I said,
I feel like
I'm a,
planning that was
I'm a double husband now, so
Double
Ooh.
husband.
I've reached the next stage.
the next.
Do I get
right
to
there.
do I get to ask like which one you liked?
I'm
more?
sorry, as a single wife, you can't ask to reach double wife status. So, no offense. I would love to tell you, just I signed paperwork. It's
So-
Ah.
So the big question: which anniversary do you have to remember?
April Fools.
Oh, okay.
April Fools is the
That's like a what a time.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I was very happy with that day.
Hey, honey, I didn't get you anything. April Fools.
Hey,
Everyone's always-
that's not nice.
Everyone's like, this wedding better be real. And I'm always like, listen, if I had the
Oh
money
my
to
God.
reimburse all of you for travel, this would be a big prank. But I don't.
Oh.
so-
that is a next level of prankage right there.
And this is my favorite photo.
Yeah.
We're actually going to be
Mm.
using this photo as like we're getting a big blow up print type thing. So this is going to be the one we
This
get
one's
printed and hang on
really
the wall.
good. This one was probably my favorite picture.
There was so many ideas of Photoshop for that one. I wanted a PUBG, parachute behind you.
Just
That's
Photoshop it
amazing.
on there.
That would have been good. Yeah, no, our photographer was great. I mean, he also didn't speak English, but he's telling me what to do and stuff like that, and he gestures. And like this was one shot.
right.
Like he's like,
Wow.
bend down, jump, I'm gonna do it. I jumped, he just went, we're good. Like there wasn't like no, he just went, boop, we're good. I was like, all right.
Perfectly timed.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, no,
That's
he was
interesting.
good. He was really good.
Alrighty. Well, that's awesome.
That's cool.
I mean, it's not every day that you have someone have two weddings, so thank you so much for sharing, Wolves.
No problem.
And so some other Valhalla happenings that things that happen in our little town of the internet over here is that our very own Wames had a
Whoa.
charity stream recently, and I think it
Indeed.
went kind of well. I don't
It
know.
went it went all right. I guess I could say.
A
But
skosh
yeah.
over your goal.
Okay,
A
so
skosh. I like
so the
that.
Too Long Didn't Watch. We did a charity stream a couple weeks back, and it was for St. Jude Play Live. So it's just St. Jude, but the Play Live is sort of a campaign aimed at streamers and gamers alike. So I went in expecting $100 was our goal. I was like, you know what, $100 is like, I'll be so happy if we reach that.
Yeah.
We managed to reach that goal within like the first 30 seconds of the stream.
Mhm.
And long story short, end of the stream, we ended up reaching $2,310 raised within 12 hours.
Oh my
So you
gosh.
can imagine how
It's crazy.
insanely surreal it felt. It just didn't feel. It felt like a dream. It just did not feel like it was happening. So I don't expect a lot. I 100 was, I'm happy, and then you guys went and like matched that by like 23 times the amount that I was like expecting. So I'm like,
I know
Very
because
cool.
I was actually streaming at the time, but
Same.
we kept going into your chat and like sending hype
Yeah.
and stuff because
oh
we
my
kept
god.
and we had you in our multi because we wanted to keep an eye on like how things were going
Aw.
and stuff. And
Yeah,
I would love for you to talk about where you completely broke down. And
Oh jeez. Oh my goodness.
The
I was
feelings
playing
that you
Mario Kart, wasn't I?
had, what
As
thoughts were
well.
going
So I was
through
just
your
like, my cart was just like hitting a wall, and I was just there like ball. I was like, oh my god. You
head?
guys, oh my god. I still think about it. Like, it warms my heart so much that you guys came together. Like so many people. It's like, it's not just me. Obviously, it's not just me, but so many people from different like communities as well. People I've gotten to know over the like months that I've been streaming, like 7 months. There's just so many people came in like from this community and that community, and it was just, for so grateful for how well it went.
It was
and,
really cool to watch, honestly.
Mhm.
Yes, it
Mhm.
was.
And I heard that I think your dad donated as well.
Yes, he did, and he was actually
Is he
yeah,
the
he
one?
was watching as well. He was the one that he came in around like a couple hours in where I was saying like I need to drink a lot of water. He came in, he brought like three bottles of water for me. I was like, "Oh, thanks, Dad."
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
he's a real MVP.
That's really, really cool.
Hmm.
So do you have any future plans, Wayne?
So, actually, of course I want to do it another in the future, and it will happen. I've actually started thinking of plans. I don't
Oh.
know when. I don't know what I'll be doing exactly, but I have a little bit. An idea is forming, and I can't wait to touch
Okay.
upon that more in the
Yes,
future.
well,
So,
we'll definitely
yes,
stay tuned. Where
expect.
can people get updates if they want to know what you're doing
Um,
next, Wayne?
Well, I guess I'd say the best place would be my Twitter. So Twitter /Wames guy,
This guy
and as well.
tweets like a
This,
mofo. He's
oh,
amazing.
I do. I was one of those guys. Like when I was growing up, I was like, oh, Twitter. Oh, that's so. Oh, all like the mainstream kids are doing it. It's like, oh, I don't like that. And then like once I started streaming, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm obsessed with Twitter. Like I can't stop tweeting, and I can't stop seeing what other people are doing because it really is. It's such a. It also serves as like inspiration for me. Like I scroll
Yeah.
down and I see people like doing these amazing things. I was like, oh my goodness. And the fact that I'm able to like add my own stuff to that sort of feed of inspiration is great. So that's why I absolutely love Twitter now. So I've sort of turned over a new leaf for Twitter, I guess.
Turn
Yeah.
over a new leaf. I love
I
it.
need to learn from you and pay more attention.
No, yeah,
But
no,
I
Wames
probably
is such a
won't.
good tweeter. I don't know what the term is. I'm
Tweet
terrible at tweeting. And he's so good. Like
such a
all your
tweetist.
tweets are like really interesting to read and
Teach us, senpai.
As well,
senpai.
I do have a Discord, and I like to self promote that one.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Yeah.
Mostly because I want to do more on it, because I want to use that as more than just a place to chill and hang out, but more or less I want to use it as a place so we can play games. So I want to play games with the community, not necessarily on stream, but off stream as well. Like we could do movie nights, so many things, like find out what games people play.
Right.
So I definitely I definitely would recommend that. There it is. I posted a link. Hopefully I don't get banned by the bot. But if you guys would like to join, I would love to have you guys there. And more information to come. So Twitter, Discord, best places to get some information on what's coming up.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Well, I can speak, I think, for everyone in Valhalla to say how proud we are of you, Waynes. It was
Yeah,
really,
you
really cool to
independently
watch.
doubled what Valhalla did for Extra Live. Like we as a group like got like 1,000 like barely.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like
Over
so
24
there
hours,
was
and you-
how many of us? Like 8 at the
There was
time.
8 or 9. Yeah,
8
I
or
think
9
so.
at the time, and we did a 24-hour stream. Like
17.
yeah, most people. That's true. 2 people did 24. 2 people did 17, and the rest did like 6 hours.
Yeah, and as a group, we
Yeah.
barely broke 1,000.
And we barely got over 1,000. For Extra
Okay,
Life.
I'm gonna like die over here. But yeah, it was weeks. It was weeks and weeks of planning. I doubled down on it. So much planning, so much promotion went into it. I made sure I knew what times there should be, because I looked into like Twitter times, which time would be the best time to promote my stuff. And I wouldn't usually do this for my own streams because I don't know, but I felt like this charity was so worth me pushing it and like asking people, hey, you want to promote this stream I'm doing? It's for charity.
Yeah.
So I really doubled down on the promoting for that one because it's such an important thing
Yeah.
to me. So
And that's the poster behind you, right?
yes, exactly. So over here is the poster of the charity stream itself. So people who donated $5 and $15 they get their name on the poster board, and it shows our total we raised. Reason why it says 2,350 is because my mom decided to donate a little bit after the stream.
Oh my
So
gosh.
she added $40 to make it even.
That's amazing.
So
Very nice.
I love it. All right. Well, you know what else is going on in the little town in Valhalla's Most Wanted? We need a town for like a name for our little town.
a little town going
Because
on
the
over here.
gang is Valhalla's Most Wanted, right? Like
Yes.
So we need like a town name. Anyway.
Misfortune.
Misfortune is D&D is coming back.
Oh.
After
coming
like
back
3
next
months
week.
off.
What's that?
After like 3 months off.
We don't need to say that.
Again, 2 weddings. 2 weddings.
Yeah, we had 2
Two
weddings
weddings.
and a
Do
lot
we-
of
do we
busy
get a-
lives.
Do we get a video of previously on D&D?
Yeah.
Previously
Back up
on
where we were.
D&D.
Not if I'm making it.
In my head, I just imagine it.
If someone else wants to make it, go ahead. But yeah, no, D&D is returning a week from today. So we'll be
Yeah.
back.
I want you, Queen, and the dog and the cat to act out of what happened and where it left off. And
I don't
it'll
even
be the
remember.
number one hit.
I'm in it and I have
We
no
need this
idea.
now.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of the stream, like we'll probably have a nice long recap, but
A
there won't be
long
anything animated because my skills are not that. So, but yeah, no, that'll be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I am excited as well. So that's what's going on in Valhalla. If anything of that interests you, if you have any questions, because we're all streamers here. If you have any streaming questions, you can use the hashtag VMW Talks, or you can just ask it in chat, and we can get to it at the end of the hour. Now, Williams, I don't remember. Do you play Overwatch?
Not so much anymore. I
No
used
worries.
to play it a lot, but
You can stay
I can't
quiet
say that
during
I
this
can't say that I do.
conversation.
I do follow it though. It is a blizzard game, so I follow it pretty closely.
That's awesome. Well, because Outlaw, Wolves, and I, we play Overwatch. And there
Mhm.
have been some, well, there's a new hero, Wrecking Ball, and there's been some skins that have been talked about and released on the official Overwatch Twitter
I saw those.
for the new summer games. Thoughts?
Yes.
Questions?
Ooh,
Concerns?
I like them both so far. They look really cool. I really like the Diva one is really nice. Like the thing is, I really wish they would double down on is they should have themed abilities. Like the Diva one, I'd love it if they had like sort of water effects for her guns. That would be so cool. in my
Squirt gun
opinion.
from a
Water
McCree.
effects. That's what they do
Yep.
in HOTS. Heroes of the
Yeah.
Storm, they do that.
Smite does the same
Yeah.
thing.
I
Have
would
you ever played
love
Smite?
that.
With Battleground of the Gods, whenever it does a themed god, it does different ones. Like there's a Poseidon. You know,
Mhm.
all of his attacks are water.
Oh,
but there's
yeah.
Beach Poseidon, where he has like a little rubber ducky float around him,
Yeah.
and like as he runs around. But one of his abilities is a giant kraken erupts from the ground and hurts people. In the emote, it's a giant rubber ducky. Like they changed the abilities to represent the costumes in Smite.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's so cool,
Yeah,
honestly.
it'd be
I don't-
kind of cool if Overwatch did something like that, but at the same time, I feel like it'd just be too much effects. Like,
Yeah, like they're really important, or they put a lot of importance in making sure that you always recognize the character's
Yeah.
silhouette. So that's
Yeah.
why they don't change the silhouette a whole bunch. And that's why like the particular, like even when you get hit by something, you can tell by the hit marker what you got hit by for the most part.
Yeah.
So like Widow and Hanzo have similar hit markers. It's like a long, so that way once you get hit, even though you don't know where it is, you're like, oh, I got hit by Widow, and then you try to find her. And same thing with Diva. It's like little hit markers. So they put a lot of effort so you know exactly who's around. So that's where
Mhm.
doing these skins, and if they changed anything too much, it goes into that, and their whole like, we want to make sure you know what's up.
But
Yeah.
that's where they have the option like they did with McCree with the high tide. I love that voice line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they could really mess with those.
Oh, that is ingenious. I
Mhm.
love that high tide. It's so great.
Yeah.
But we talked about divas. Did anyone see Ryan's?
Yeah.
it's the football outfit, right?
Yeah.
The football outfit?
Yep.
It's so good.
I like it.
I like it a lot. I don't
It's
even
fun.
I like
watch
it
it.
when they sort of go away from the original character design just a little bit. Of course, he still has the body type, and you can tell that it's Reinhardt, but you can see he usually has like the spike helmet, and he has the helmet on without. It's just like a football helmet, so it's smoother. So I kind of like them sort of deriving from the original design.
Yeah.
Yeah,
even if
no,
it's
me
just a little bit.
too. And yeah, I'm really glad they did, because it does add just that little extra flair, a little something new. Because like I feel like they do that a lot with Sombra's silhouette. Honestly, like Sombra's silhouette, I feel like they mess with the most, and I'm like, is that because no one plays her?
Oh, they did change their invisibility.
They did.
So no
I
one
think
sees
they
them.
mess with the silhouettes of newer characters more
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like the
And
old
yet-
characters were around for so long that they can get away with messing with the newer ones a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet Orisa
saying,
has like
when-
no new skins in any
When
of
is
these
Beach
events.
Ball Hammond coming out?
Beach Ball Hammond. He's
Mhm.
in quick play now. However, he is
It's Tuesday, right?
not in comp. I'm assuming that's Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they could do a Lucio Ball Hammond skin.
Right?
Mm.
I think they
That would be
might.
actually pretty
Well,
cool.
That'd
actually,
be-
no, I don't. Because it usually takes a really long time for them to
Yeah.
give skins to the newbies. I don't know why they take so long, but they do.
They want the character probably to be more played before they invest
Before
that
they
time.
mess around with it.
Yeah.
Could be.
Competitive Wrecking Ball is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Competitive Wrecking Ball. I don't know. I legit have like no idea how I feel about it.
I mean, I never once played Lucio Ball, so I don't know if I'll even play this.
Oh, Lucio Ball? But we're talking about Wrecking Ball in comp.
Oh, I was thinking Lucio Ball for Wrecking Ball when you guys said competitive.
Me
Wrecking
too.
Ball,
I
and
did
I'm
the
like,
same thing and then I realized and I like went back.
It's like, wait.
No, yeah. Seeing him in comp's going to be interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, because like
Oh.
I don't think he's so much fun to play. Like Wrecking
Yeah.
Ball is so much fun to play, but I don't know like how he fits in comp wise. I know I talked about it with Wolves a little bit.
No.
I was like, I have no idea
Yeah.
because like I don't think
Hey.
he's super powerful. I
No,
don't
No.
think.
he's a dive / flanking tank.
Yeah,
He's very disruptive.
Yeah.
yeah,
He just knocks people around.
Yeah.
Like,
and with how
with
fast he
his-
is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
with his
Oh,
cooldowns,
yeah.
he excels at getting into the backline, screw with them, and leaving. Where
Right.
other
Yeah.
dives, like Winston, has a bad habit of diving in and then he's just there.
that he's
He's
just
just like-
there.
Like
He can't
Winston
leave.
requires like a dive comp to
Yeah.
kind of work sometimes. Where Wrecking Ball is much better at getting in and then just leaving. Because if he dives into the whole team, and even if he kills one person or just does a lot of damage, if the whole team's there, he suddenly gives himself 600 health and then just rolls away.
Right.
Mhm.
So like he's really good at just jumping in, disrupting, and leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. But like that's so weird to me as a tank because like I find him really fun to play because I play Diva and she kind of does the same thing where she dives in, try to do this thing, get back out. But it's like he can't really protect people very well. He
Yeah, no, he's
can't
not a-
like
Yeah.
as a tank he can't well, and then like Diva can't either, but at least she has her defense
Mhm.
matrix. So
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
like really she does really clutch plays sometimes in saving people.
Hammond is gonna be that awkward position that Symmetra was in for a while, where he's
Yeah.
gonna occupy a tank slot, but people aren't gonna feel like he's a tank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
He feels like a brawler, like a beefy DPS sort of.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do that much damage. Well, I mean, he can. He definitely can.
He can, and his guns are
Mhm.
hit scans, so he's
Yeah.
against further enemies. He, as a tank, he can do that. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really
Mhm.
interesting.
Yeah, so we'll see. We
Yeah.
will see.
We'll see.
But as you brought up earlier, Sombra had some changes.
Mhm.
She had, I feel like, really good changes. However, comp does not feel that way.
Yeah,
I'm on the fence, but
You're on the fence? Thoughts?
I-
Explain.
don't like the
Excruciating.
unlimited invisibility. I
I
feel
agree.
like keeping it how it was with the speed boost is more important. I like the recall being permanent and you can decide to disable it or not. That I like.
Yep.
Oh.
But I feel like in a competitive scene, getting rid of the movement buff and making her permanent visibility creates a 5v6 too often. It takes her too long and she's out of fight too much
Oh, that's
that it's
interesting.
awkward.
I mean,
I
would you
agree.
put it on par with, because like people feel that way about Mercy, is that it's a 5v6 situation because she's not doing a whole lot of damage.
But she's still actively engaged in the fights.
Yeah.
Sombra's
Yeah.
not. Like why she's trying to get into position, like it could be 5v6.
I feel
She's
like
not contributing at
um,
all.
I feel like since I didn't know they got rid of her speed buff, but I feel like it creates that moment because she gets the invisibility, she gets that sprint boost of speed where she gets to go behind the enemy lines and sets up and stuff like that. Now she doesn't have that. I feel like it's gonna be a little bit slower pace to play her because then she's gonna be like walking at her normal speed over to the back lines.
I think she still has a speed buff. It's just drastically.
It's I think it's a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if
much.
she's just like walking at normal speed invisible, just be like it feels
hey,
it might feel a little
by.
bit slow. But the translocation, that change seems pretty interesting, and I'm honestly thinking about probably not playing it on stream, but I'll definitely check out some of the changes off stream.
Yeah. I honestly, Sombra is way more easier to play in my opinion. Because I did not understand her. Like, I understand how to play, but, like, her kit was just really difficult to master, in my opinion.
Agreed.
And so this, with the unlimited on both invisibility and the translocator, it's way easier.
You don't have that time window
I would
that you're...
I would say just getting rid of the time run, the translocator still would have made her visible. Because people understand, I'm only invisible for so long, I gotta get in this position. But they have a limited time to recall. Right. I think it was both those together that made it much... The learning curve was much steeper.
I agree. Yeah. And I find Sombra's way more annoying because of the lack of cooldown on the invisibility. She can get in the perfect spot and then translocate away. And it's like, oh my goodness gracious. I would agree that if any changes need to happen, it should be the cooldown on the invisibility. I don't care about the translocator. I thought that was a really good change.
That's a very good change. Yeah. But yeah, as she sits, I'm not a big fan of her at the moment. I liked her before.
Really? Yeah. Just overall? Yeah. Played and playing?
Yeah. How she can move faster before and get into the position a lot quicker, it kept her more prevalent in the fight.
Yeah, agreed.
Interesting. That's interesting. And I never thought about it as a 5v6 situation, like, because when she's invisible, she literally can't do anything. That's a good point. Talking about trying things out. Have you guys checked out the Twitch Creator Camp yet?
I have not.
I have. I've watched a few of the videos, so I know what's going on there. I have yet to sort of dive deeper into it, but I have seen what they've been doing, and it's interesting. I like it because before then, well, there are channels and streamers out there who focus, or just content creators in general, that focus on tips for streaming, how to improve, things you should avoid doing, things you should be doing, like but it's nice to see Twitch actually jumping on this thing and having it official, because it's Twitch. People are going to notice when they have these creator camps, and as opposed to maybe someone else who's doing it on the side, like teaching people how to be a better streamer and stuff like that. But Twitch is the platform you're on, so they have the power to make you see that, hey, we have a content creator camp, and I'm on board for what they're doing, because
I think it's
there's a lot of people who want to join streaming and they don't know necessarily what to do. So I'm happy with this stuff.
Definitely. Yeah. I think it's a really good idea, and I thought it was really honestly kind of them to create this. I'm sure there was a lot of people being like, can you have this? And so they were like, oh, fine. But regardless,
they're encouraging more competition. I'm against it.
I'm against it.
Now this knowledge is, everyone else has it. What do I have?
How dare they teach people?
No, but I thought overall it was really good, and I look forward. There's, I keep getting the emails of like, oh, we're going to talk about this now, and I'm like, oh, I want to see that. But my biggest issue is that I'm always streaming during their their time, so I have to like check out their VODs.
But, same.
Oh well, I do like it overall. I think it's a really good idea, and I definitely want to check it out. And I know Kiva Games, who is also in our community, said that a lot of it was a bit of common sense. Which is fair, but you have to, especially with these, it's, a little training camp. You gotta
it's aimed at the newer streamers. So people who have been streaming for a while, they're like, they see that and they're like, oh yeah, I've been doing that. So the thing is, that's good, because they're like, oh okay, it's sort of a reassurance that you're doing things right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Definitely. So recently, this kind of goes back to Valhalla news just a little bit. Is that a bunch of people in Valhalla's Most Wanted got to meet each other for SGDQ.
Yeah.
And so we should. I know, Waves. I'm sorry you were there. However, he's
Wow,
like
only
crying.
Wames got the pity. I'm sorry. Wolves, I'm glad you
Yeah.
weren't there.
Wolves, you had
Wolves, you
two
were
weddings.
at
I missed
country.
you.
We're getting
Wames,
wedding.
Wolves, go away. Wames,
Wolves,
Yeah.
we missed
you had two
Enjoy
weddings.
your wedding.
You calm down, all right? You were in blissful happiness over there.
You skipped town. That's on you.
You skipped
town.
town. But Ella, you want to kind of talk about your experience of GDQ and how it was and what you would
Yeah.
do
So this was my second GDQ. I went last year for SGDQ and then this year as well. Big difference between the 2 years, honestly. So last year I went basically by myself. I brought my son, and it was just the two of us. We were meeting up with people in the middle of the week. Yeah, I do have a son.
What? Get out.
He's outlaw kid, you know, shorter than me.
Lives prove it.
But having people that you like plan the entire week around and having people to meet up with was a huge difference. Leading up to GDQ, it definitely had more hype personally than it did the first year. I mean, I was really excited to go, but it was, you know, just more of seeing the speed runs. I saw a lot less speed runs this year. You know, we caught the key ones. But it was more of just a social event at that point. It was, you know, hanging out with friends, getting to know the fellow streamers, and building that personal connection with everyone was really, really fun.
So there was
Based on the
more
pictures, a
hype
lot of
within the
drunken
community. Go ahead, Wolf. Sorry.
Is it based on the pictures? A lot of drunken karaoke.
That was just the one night.
Yeah.
But it was like everyone was like, "I must take evidence that we did this."
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
there
the
were so
karaoke
many
was
snaps.
so much fun.
That was really fun.
Yeah, we like this year we did a lot more offsite than we did the first year. We did like two things last year. But this year it barely felt like we were at the event center doing the event. We were out and having fun and doing things.
Yeah, so that as an outsider was very weird because like I went there and everyone was like, by the way, it's not really about the speed runs. Like we really just hang out. And I was like, oh, okay. Sure. And then I like got there and for real, they were like, all right, so what do you want to do now? Do you want to go out? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do a puzzle room? Do you want to go to karaoke? And I'm like, what about that thing that we paid money for? Like, are we going to do that?
That was the cheapest part of the whole thing.
It really was. But no, I'm not saying anything bad about it. It was really fun because it's true. I mean, it's literally going on 24/7. So it's like you feel, oh, I can go at any time, you know? And so we did get all the key speed runs. I think I only missed one. Oh, the one I really wanted to see was Kingdom Hearts. And we weren't able to do that one, but I saw it on the VOD, so it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
It was a really
and we
good
got to
run,
meet the guy that ran it.
And I met him before I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, congratulations. And he was like, yeah. I was like, I haven't seen it, but good job. And I was like really excited to meet him. He was really cool. And I ended up following him and everything. But
nice. Not on social media. Anything.
You
She just
follow
followed
him.
him.
Yeah.
I followed him
Run.
around.
I don't want to miss another race just in case there's another one.
For the rest of the day, she was just right behind him.
I was. So Outlaw and I don't know if you guys watched it. Was there any highlights? If we go around the horn here, we'll start with Wolves. Did you even see it at all?
I've watched a bunch of them. I literally just at night when I'm going to bed, I just bring up like the YouTube like 135 videos and kind of go through them. I had to pick. Come back to me. I got to think of this
Okay.
now.
Okay. How about Wames? Did you see them at all?
I did. So one that particularly stood out for me would have to be the Doom speedrun, Doom 2016 one. That one was the funny thing was it wasn't that he broke the game constantly. Every turn he would skip entire levels. You would go under the ground and just that's the thing I love about the speedrunning is finding those glitches, those things that people be like, you're just like, that's not normal. That's not part of the game. What is he doing? I didn't do that in my playthrough. So you are a speedrunning fan
then, Wames?
Yeah.
Would you say? Would you say you're a speedrunning fan?
I would say so. I would say so. not so much myself. I wouldn't consider myself a avid speedrunner. I did attempt to do that. I did a little bit of Super Mario 64, but that died real quick. But that doesn't mean I don't enjoy watching people speedrun, because it is very entertaining. Like I think it was AGDQ this year or one of them. It was a Halo speedrun, and that one was amazing because he did some amazing things in that one. But yeah, I just love seeing the glitches and stuff like that people would normally do in a normal game playthrough. So
for sure. That brings us to you, Outlaw. What was your highlight?
My highlight is probably an easy one to guess. I'm a big fan of Mario. That's what got me into speedrunning. That's what got me into Twitch. So the Mario Relay was my highlight. I follow that whole crew. I enjoy watching them stream. I watch them play. And it's just the amount of energy and hype that it brings whenever these guys get on stage at a GDQ.
Oh yeah.
And just play Mario is just absolutely amazing. I mean, the room is just ecstatic when they come in and they do their thing.
Right.
And you could see like a lot of people were sitting there, beforehand, and they were playing on their phones or watching the screen. But the moment it starts, they're all up on their feet.
Yeah.
And they're just ready to watch, ready to go.
That was a lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah.
And in fact, we kind of have a special guest to talk about it.
What?
Ooh.
Oh yeah. We got a special guest to talk about the Mario Relay race, and so let's bring it on over, shall we? Well, we have the one, the only Cliffy here with us. So Cliffy, thank you so much for being on our first episode. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Thank you guys for having me.
So go ahead and introduce yourself for those who may or may not know who the heck you are. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Cliffy. I stream on Twitch. I do a lot of different stuff. I stream a lot of different games, mostly Mario Maker. That's where I started with my community on Twitch. But now we've branched off and we do a whole bunch of different stuff. We play roguelikes, we play RPGs, we play shooters, we play everything. We've been playing. We just got done doing an Elder Scrolls Oblivion playthrough. We did Dark Souls. We play Fortnite. I just got done playing Black Ops. So it bounces all over the place, but yeah, that's what we do. We have
Very
a
nice.
good time doing it.
Very nice. And how long have you been streaming?
I've been streaming for almost 3 years. I started on Halloween in 2015.
That's awesome. Well,
Cool.
let's get to it. Aula?
Yeah, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the SGDQ, the Mario Relay.
Oh, okay.
So first question I got for you is, were you a part of the submission process for the relay, or did it kind of come to you after they did the submission?
Okay. So when it came to submitting, it was actually a super last minute thing. When they had asked me, Pooh had asked me, or Grand Pooh Bear, for you guys who don't know, had asked me, I think it was the day before, and let me know that they were submitting a run for Mario Maker for SGDQ and asked me if I'd like to be involved in it because he knew that I was going. So without hesitation, I was like, yes. Without even thinking about it, I was just like, yes, well, let's do it. And so it was like, okay, well, we need you to get together, I forget how much time. I needed a video to put together. So it was like, well, we're submitting for a blind relay race. So usually when speedrunners submit for SGDQ, they have to submit the run, commentary, that kind of stuff. But it was like, I guess we'll record 100-man run in Mario Maker, look through my VODs, the best one I can, and then I'll just talk over it. And so
oh wow,
did that super
Wow,
late last
yeah.
minute. Yeah.
Was that stressful having it so last minute?
Oh yeah, definitely. But
Oh my goodness.
yeah, but yeah,
That's
it was
easy. 5
It
minutes.
was worth it. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't sure if it was just like, oh, just go here, or if it was like, oh my goodness, what do I
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
But initially it was like that. Initially it was like, what am I going to do? And so I had my mods and a couple people from our community. I was like, look, I need everybody to start scanning through my VODs and try to find the fastest 100-man run I've done.
Oh my
Make
goodness,
it work. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
that's insane.
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
So when you guys were doing the submission for Mario Maker, I know Mario Maker's been submitted over the past couple of years, but it's been denied.
mhm.
How confident were you guys that it was going to be brought in this year?
Nobody thought it was going to make it in. So
Including myself.
Yeah, it was definitely a huge surprise. So like while it was an honor to get asked to be a part of it, in the back of my head I was like, "There's no way this is getting in." They've passed on it. I think it was 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
It was one and a half or 2 years in a row. And even Pooh and Carl had said that like out of all the runs that they've submitted for Mario Maker, like this is the one that they put the least amount of like effort into. Like it was just like a last minute, we'll throw it together, we'll see if it gets in. And
Oh my gosh.
yeah, so yeah, when it got accepted, I was waiting. I was actually streaming when it happened. When they posted the results of who had got in and stuff. I thought for sure like it was like not gonna happen, and then we saw it and it was crazy. It blew my mind. So
That's so
very
cool.
yeah.
So after you guys did the submission for this. How long did you guys practice Mario Maker? You know, going into it. I mean, was it basically till GDQ or?
No, because so like they, if I remember correctly, they announced who made it in. I think it was probably like 3 months prior to SGDQ. And I mean, I can't really vouch for most of the guys, but for myself, I mean, I played Mario Maker mostly on stream. That's probably like 80% of my content. And so like going into it, knowing that we'd be doing a blind race, it's really hard to prepare for that because you're basically just playing levels that you don't know what you're going to get. You're expecting decent quality levels. You're expecting levels that are going to kind of lead you, and you're not going to have to figure out too much. You just kind of go impulse based. But like that's what I do anyways when I'm playing through 100-man.
Right.
So
Very cool.
the first couple months I still played sporadically, and then it wasn't probably until the last month leading up until SGDQ where it really went hard, and it was like, okay, every day we're playing Mario Maker. We're gonna try to get practice in, make sure my chops are up, because that was the last thing I wanted was to get on stage and not be at my best.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
Worst nightmare.
Yeah, exactly, and just be sloppy. So
What do
Like
I
did
do?
Jump button again?
oh yeah, which one's the jump button? Yeah, exactly.
like
Yeah.
so because there's like different types of levels. So like are there particular levels that you're better at, and that's so then like in order to quote unquote practice you would just choose levels that like have a different style?
Yeah, well, so what I would do is I tried to find out what my weaknesses were and like things that I knew I needed to work on, and that's what I went and kind of tried to attack. Um, as far as like what kind of levels that I was trying to practice, what I did was I would pull up. They've done Mario Maker like relay events or race events in the past, not at like they've done it at GDQ, but they've done them outside of GDQ, just on Twitch within the Mario Maker community. So all those levels are saved in various different places.
Yeah.
And even on makersofmario.com, they have like all sorts of archives and stuff. So what I would ask my community to do is be like, hey, send me in some of these old race levels that people were playing on, because I know these, while they might not be exactly the same levels, it's the same kind of feel.
Yeah.
And the creators are trying to make good levels for people to race on. So I practice really hard on those.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So that brings us to one of my favorite highlights of SGDQ, which was your blind run.
Which was the impressive
Yes.
attack.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched that, anyone, go track that down. and
Yes,
watch
and we will
Very cool.
post the link so you guys can see it for yourself, because I was completely duped. I had no idea what was
Good.
going on there. So, and I remember I got to talk to you at SGDQ, and I was like asking you about it, and you said that you're a self-proclaimed not a speedrunner.
Yep.
So how was it like submitting and running at a running convention?
So it's funny. While I do, I wouldn't. It's hard for me to consider myself a speedrunner because most of what I stream is not speedrunning. But I mean, people have different opinions on what makes you a speedrunner, and
Sure.
ultimately, I think as long as you are, you participate in it, then you are. So, but no, I hold while it's not the majority of my content, I hold the utmost respect for people who do speedrun and spend that amount of time of their lives, and dedicate to a game and to really being at the best and the top of their ability. So as somebody who doesn't normally speedrun games, submitting for it, I definitely wanted to make sure, like I said, when I went to go practice, I wanted to make sure I was at the best of my ability. I didn't want to come in and be like, this isn't what I really do. So I'm just going to, kick my feet up and I'll just be along for the ride.
Mhm.
I wanted to make sure that it's an honor to race at an SGDQ or an AGDQ and raise money. It's like ultimately it's like the Super Bowl for
Right.
speed running. So it was like, I don't want to get accepted into a GDQ and know that like I could have put in more time, put in more practice. So
Yeah, definitely. So how did the idea come up for the blind run then for GDQ? Did you think about it right away? Was it a conversation around a campfire?
no, it was actually that's a funny story. Not many people know that one.
Oh, we're getting exclusive.
Yeah. So that all resulted or it came about because of a miscommunication. So yeah. So initially we had the blind race with the 6 guys, me, Grand Pooh Bear, Carl Sagan 42, Jaku, Glitchcat 7, and Fail Street. There was an additional donation incentive, I think it was for 50,000, that they do a hard level showcase. And at first, I wasn't sure personally who was doing a hard level showcase. I wasn't sure if it was one of the runners, some of the runners, all of the runners, and it was kind of unclear. So I just assumed that if I'm going to go into this, I'm like, well, I better just assume that I have to have something as opposed to like, I just assume it's not me. And then day of, it's like,
Right.
oh, where's your thing? You know what I mean? So I just automatically put that on myself. So I was like, man, what do I do? And we had a Discord set up with everybody, and some people were posting and talking about like, oh, I'm gonna make this kind of level. These are the things I'm putting in it. These are the things I want to highlight. And just joking, I was like, it would be funny if I just did an automatic level and told everybody that it was a hard level and just made it look real flashy. And I was talking with Tub 11, who was an instrumental figure in getting everything put together, a behind the scenes kind of guy, helping get all the race levels and coordinate everything.
Yeah.
But me and him were joking about it a little bit. And was like, you know what? I'm definitely doing this. And it wasn't until later that I found out that it was only supposed to be Carl, who, Glitchcat, and Fail doing it. And so it was like, well, I still think it's a funny idea. Like, I think we should do it. And they were like, Carl and the rest of the guys were like, yeah, you should definitely do that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you did, because it was really like the talk of the town. I feel like it was so much fun.
Yeah.
One of the highlights.
It was really one of the highlights. Truly.
I play a lot of Mario Maker, and I get trolled a lot with the levels I get. So it was kind of nice to like set that back out into the world for everybody.
It's fair game.
Yeah. And ultimately, it was something that I wanted to do that I thought it was kind of cool because the way we were doing it, people who played a lot of Mario Maker were in the community, recognized levels and stuff. Like a lot of them could pick up on the fact that it was an automatic level and there wasn't anything I do. But for people who didn't know anything, they were able to get that like surprise from it and that wow.
Right.
Yeah. And so it was like a little gem. Like if you're in the know, then you know. And if you're not, then it's like, whoa, what a show, So
that's exactly what happened, because the Grey Lord, who is in our community, was next to me and he was just laughing his ass off.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you laughing? This is amazing. Like, why? And then you like let me know, and I was like, oh, okay. I see what's going on.
They actually just released the official photographs from SGDQ, and there's a really good one. They have like 7 or 8 of us while we're on stage playing Mario Maker, and there's a really good one. I'm pretty sure it's like right at the end of my run. I think it's because Pooh's like getting out of a chair or clapping or something. You could tell because he was commentating, so he's not holding the mic at the time.
Right.
But you can look at everybody's face on the couch, and you can all see them like super, like they got that look in their eye, the smile on them. And even me, I'm smiling in it because it's like we just pulled it off. Everybody believed it. So
was this your first time running at GDQ?
Yeah.
Okay, so how was that different than being a viewer?
It was definitely different in the fact that so our race was on Saturday, the last day of a week-long event. So the whole time we were there, it's like, ugh, like I know I have to be on stage. I know, like, I'm going to be in front of all these people. We got to play well. Like you just have that like anxiety. You get like an extra level of anxiety. Every other time I've been there, it's just hanging out, having a good time,
right?
Watching runs, supporting your friends, being there, to raise money for whatever the charity is, and it's definitely more of a relaxing thing as as a viewer. And if you can make it out, I definitely recommend going as a viewer first, and before you get into running and stuff, because it's a completely different experience.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
But as somebody who doesn't really speedrun games, or like I don't have a game really, off the bat that it's like, this is what I practice all the time, this is what I play all the time. The situation could not have been any better for me going into it, because a lot of people, when they do runs, they either do them by themselves, or maybe they'll be playing with somebody. There's always that chance of when they're playing or when they're running, for them to mess something up, right? Or to completely miss a trick, or they lose a lot of time, and that looks really bad when that happens. Well, for us, there's 6 of us on stage, and we're playing levels that we've never seen before, and the audience knows we have never seen them before. So we get that extra that allowance of like, oh, they're gonna mess up. Like, we just know that they're gonna mess up. This isn't like your everyday thing.
Definitely.
And the fact that there was 6 of us, 3 on each team, it was like, if we mess up, if we play bad, it's going to be covered up by the fact that our teammates are swapping in and out, and it's just moving so fast. There's not really a chance to look bad. But if you play well, people are going to notice, because you're clutching it out, and they've got people commentating. So it was really like very low room for looking bad, and a lot of room to look really good. And then the blind level was like, I didn't have to do anything. So it was like,
what
the
do you
best
mean?
situation.
That was total skill.
It was all
Come on
audio
now.
cues.
Listen,
Audio cues.
I did beat a level on stage at GDQ during the hard level showcase. Like, I did actually beat the level. So.
That's what's important.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Cliffy. I
no
really
problem.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's definitely an honor. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah. I believe. Well, did you have a question?
I have 2 quick questions for you.
Sure, go
So
ahead.
you said you did 80% Mario. Now you're branching into other things.
Yep.
So between Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim, you picked the worst of the 3.
Oh, okay.
Particular reason.
Okay, so we're out of time. Cliffy, what is there anything you want to plug or promote? What do you got here for us?
Well, should I answer the Oblivion question, or should we just wrap it up?
It's up to you.
Okay, I'll answer. No, I played a lot of Skyrim. I'd never played Morrowind or Oblivion, but I've got a lot of friends who do, and a lot of people in my community who've talked about it. The reason I chose Oblivion over Morrowind is the fact that Morrowind, there's less hand holding, from what I understand. Not a lot of quest markers. There's a lot of figuring it out yourself, which for Twitch chat could be good, for them to help me with. But I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna go back and play something, I don't want to go hardcore into it. Let me ease into Oblivion, and if I really like that, then maybe I'll take it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So for real, thank you so much, Cliffy, for being here. Is there anything you want to promote?
Off the bat, no. They, you know what? Outside of the, my Twitch channel
Absolutely.
at twitch.tv/Cliffy, or on Twitter or Instagram, Cliffy TV and Cliffy VG,
which we will post links for y'all. So you just click.
Outside of
We'll
all
try
those,
to get you to that 20,000 follower mark. I see you're close. You're at 17.2.
Oh, we can do it.
Outside of those, Warp World, actually, Warp.world is a huge tool that it makes streaming Mario Maker on Twitch so much easier. So huge shout outs to Jaku for setting that all up. But they just released a new feature for seeded races that we've been doing lately, where it's basically like we would be playing through 100-man with a bunch of random levels. But instead of them being completely random, you can set them to, hey, I only want to play Super Mario Brothers 3 levels, or I only want to play Super Mario World castle levels, and then you can set the amount, and it makes the experience so much better. So it's one more step in the process of getting the experience to the best that it can be. So huge shout outs to Jaco and the team at Warp World for that.
Yeah,
So,
it's an amazing tool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. Thank you
thank
so much for being here.
Thank
Seriously. Thank you, Cliffy. That was awesome. I appreciate it. And we're back.
Oh,
Hello.
hi.
Hello.
What a guy coming on over.
Yeah. I
Um.
don't know what happened in between that.
Williams, you
I
look
was
a
in the
little
abyss.
different.
There was something happened. There was darkness, and then all of a sudden I hear bananas, like banana phone, something, and then I came back, and here I am. I don't know what happened, but I guess we're just going with it.
Oh no, Outlaw, your camera's looking a little pixelated on my end.
It's happening to Outlaw too. Watch out, he's gonna
Is it?
come back.
Oh,
He's
no.
gonna come back
Oh,
a
no.
banana.
That's how it happens. That's how it all starts.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Yeah. Hold on. There we go.
How's
Look at that handsome man. He's back. Very briefly. How about briefly? Let's discuss Guardians of the Galaxy really quickly.
Ooh, yeah.
Quickly.
quickly.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Wolves, you're muted, by the way. I cannot hear you. Nope. I know you were like biting at the bit to talk about this, and then you're muted.
Still muted.
But in the meantime, for those who don't know Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn, the director of the first two, has gotten fired by Disney for some tweets that he had a long, long time ago when he was in charge of a different website that is not coming to mind at the moment.
Is that any better?
Yes. Hello,
Yeah.
Wolves.
That was weird.
Welcome back.
Sorry.
Take it away.
So I have mixed feelings on this because one, he had already apologized about these tweets in the past. Why he didn't delete them
Correct.
then, I have no idea. But people had already uncovered them, and he's like, "I'm sorry." He's like, "I was trying to be funny. I was doing these other things. I was doing low budget movies. I was just trying to be edgy and funny, and
Right.
it was in poor taste." And he's done nothing since then. And like, then people bring it back up later. So Disney already knew about it. People bring
So
it
where
back
in
up later, and then he gets
Where in
fired.
the timeline were these posted? Well, before Guardians.
2009.
Okay.
So almost 10 years ago. At the time, he was just making a movie where some girl gave birth to rats via cesarean section. So he wasn't like doing
edgy.
big fancy things.
He's
So,
super
like,
edgy.
And the problem with the medium like Twitter is comedy is very hard to do.
Right.
Like Sarah Silverman, for example, she tweeted several years back, it's still statutory rape if they hit on me first. I need an answer ASAP. And she's an established comedian, and for most people, we were like, aha, you're just being funny. But
Right.
he's not an established comedian, so he did it, and they're all like, you're a horrible person.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I agree it's in bad taste, and like, dude, you should have deleted them forever ago when it first came up. But like,
Yeah.
at the same time, like, it's really awkward. Like, I don't know. I feel like it was a slight overreaction, but at the same time, he did do it to himself. He should have deleted them.
Yeah. I saw it real quickly. I didn't really follow the story, but I did read up on it last night, and I'm in the same boat. Mixed feelings. I feel like it happened a while ago, and he's not like he's doing this now. But at the same time, they already did it. It's hard to reinstate him back on the
Yeah.
Disney because they've already said like we don't hate his ideals. That it wasn't really his ideals back then. As I said, it was a joke. Poorly stated joke, but it's gonna be hard, near impossible to reinstate him. Which even if the cast backs him up, we want him back on the team, but it's still gonna be hard
Which
for
is what
Disney.
happened. They came out with a letter
Mhm.
that's pretty much
Mhm.
stated that he's not that person, and pretty much stating exactly what he said. And it's just like we fully support him and want him back.
Yeah, I don't
but-
think Disney will backtrack.
Yeah,
That's the big
you're
one.
right, Wames. Because I thought honestly with the cast letter that that's huge to have so many
Yeah.
people be like, no, he's
Yeah.
awesome. But you're right. Once Disney makes a decision, it would be really pretty difficult to go back.
Disney
Absolutely.
rarely backtracks like that.
Yeah.
I mean, but
So.
they did hire him with said tweets and then back,
Yeah,
quote
no.
unquote, and fire him.
Yeah, because like I
Yeah,
said,
those
he had
tweets
It's silly.
he
I feel-
apologized for him before, so it's not the first time it's come to light. Like I said, he just should have deleted them the
He
first
should've,
time he
yeah.
apologized.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I probably agree. I think I'm like, if I did this, would I delete them? I'd be like, well, everyone knows and I already apologized, so this can't come back and hurt me again.
Kind of. I mean,
I'm
it's
interested.
another thing where it's just out of context. Like,
Yeah.
let's say 5 years from now, something happens, like I'm a big name, and someone goes back into Platinum's channel and does quote 99. Quote
Right.
99 is me saying if women wanted respect to be born a man. Out of context, that's a horrific comment.
Yes,
Little
which is
bit.
exactly what that
Just-
command is. Taking
But
it out
at
of
the
context.
like in the conversation, like it was clearly sarcasm and like it was funny at the time. In
It's
retrospect,
funny
it would
every
be-
time.
in retrospect, it would be a horrible thing just to randomly attribute to me. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So when
that's
do you
why-
have those t-shirts printed?
I'm interested to see where they're gonna go with this, because they said they're working on a third one, or they're planning to make a third one. I'm interested to see how the series goes now.
Yeah. So does anyone off the top of their head have a director that they think can do it at all?
I don't follow film enough to have.
That's
probably.
Fair. You can be like the guy who does Pulp Fiction. What'd you say, Outlaw?
M. Night Shyamalan.
No.
Guy Ritchie.
He's got to make everything.
No, that's terrible. So we have no ideas, but by golly, we can critique the frick out of it.
Tim Burton.
I would think it would have to be someone who's really into music. So if I go off the top of my head, it would be, I'm blanking on his name right now, but the director who did like Baby Driver. And,
as soon as you said big on music, that was the first name that popped in my head too.
Edgar Allan Wright, right? Isn't that
I don't know.
No,
Probably.
that sounds wrong. Anyway, that guy who does Baby Driver, I would pick him because it's super into music, especially Guardians of the Galaxy. It's very one with the music, and as not a music person, that is the director who's into music. So that's it. Edgar Wright. Okay, I was right. Edgar Allan Poe. That's the guy who that was the one that I was like, that doesn't sound right. That's a poet. Edgar Wright. Thank you for answering that, chat. I appreciate you. So okay. Well, as we're kind of getting to our closing thoughts here, again, this is your last chance to put some questions in Q&A or hashtag VMW Talks on Twitter.
Those questions in.
And I would like to, at this juncture, say that we have an email. So if you want to suggest future topics for us to talk about, we will be having these podcasts once a month. And it'll be the first Sunday of every month. And so you can actually email podcast@Valhalla's Most Wanted. No underscore, no apostrophe, just Valhalla's Most Wanted. That's their email. So by all means, if you want to do that, that is available to you all. And let's go around the horn again here, or around the VMW in this case, and say kind of, what content do we stream and what do we have coming up next? Wolves, would you like to start us off?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a variety streamer in every sense of the word. Unless I'm, for some reason, dedicated to beating a game, I'll switch games from day to day. Currently, I'm on my third attempt to beat Witcher 3. I've had various reasons why I never completed the first two, but I like the game, so I'm working on that. Otherwise, in the future, I'm looking forward to Dragon Quest XI and Smash Brothers, are games I plan on streaming. So, and I stream most weekdays starting around 10 o'clock, so not Thursday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
10 o'clock Pacific? Great, that's when I'm awake.
10 Eastern, the correct time.
Okay. Wames, what do you got for us?
Well, if you guys don't know, I do stream a variety. I recently am shifting my focus onto RPGs and more specifically some MMOs, even more specifically World of Warcraft. Some of you guys who play it know that there's an expansion coming up for WoW, so I will be hopping on that and be streaming a lot of World of Warcraft up in the future, and maybe potentially something special for the launch stream. Exclusive, never told anyone, but something might be going on there.
As long as we're for the Horde, because Valhalla as an entirety is for the Horde. There's no Alliance players at all.
Yeah. And
by that I mean we have Alliance players.
we have the banana stream. We have various charity goals. Those goals have been met. So we have 3 banana themed streams that I will be doing in the future. No time yet, but we're going to be doing a banana pirate stream, which is Sea of Thieves with the banana suit and the pirate accessories that we did on June. As well, creative stream. We're doing a creative activity, not decided yet, in the banana suit. And lastly, Just Dance with the banana suit on, and that is even farther out than the other 2. So keep on the Twitters, keep on the Discords. I will be posting news and stuff when that comes.
All right, so follow Williams on Twitter, get on his Discord for those updates. That sounds really exciting.
Very cool.
Ewa.
Let's see. I'm a variety streamer. I stream a lot of different games. I'm changing my focus a little bit. I'm going to be kind of grinding some comp Overwatch a little bit to up my stats. And I'm hoping once Black Ops 4 comes out, I want to start doing some competitive Black Ops as
Oh,
well.
but Outlaw, it's out right now. The beta's out.
Not on the system that counts. So
oh,
it's
you
okay.
mean your PC, which sucks.
See, the PC didn't have to spend a ton of extra money to get it out ahead of time because they knew people were going to buy it anyway.
People would just buy it regardless.
True.
And at the end of the month is my 1-year affiliate anniversary, so the 31st.
Oh my gosh, how exciting!
So I'm going to be doing a special stream and a special giveaway.
Ooh.
So it'll be interesting.
So much information.
So yeah, I'll post in Discord. I'll post on Twitter when Wames reminds me to.
So follow Outlaw on Twitch, Twitter, Discord, etc. Our Valhalla Discord is where I think you do most of your updates.
Yep.
So that's good. Cool. That's really exciting. Anything else? Is that it?
No, that's it from me.
I didn't want to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I am a variety streamer as well. I just finished the story of God of War, so I'll be going for the Platinum Trophy now. And I seem to do this like creative thing where I do art in the beginning. So it's the Art of War series. I start with some creative and then work my way through God of War. As far as anything special, that is special. So follow me on the Twitch, the Twitter, etc. for those updates.
Platinum makes pretty art. People do die.
Yes,
It's
that's
a very
pretty
brutal
much.
stream.
That's pretty much what happens.
Vicious
People
cycle.
die and art gets made. Okay, cool. So let's now is the time. I know you guys were all waiting for the Q&A. The
Woo-hoo.
Q&A. So, Wolves, go ahead, take it away.
All right, so we've had a couple questions that have popped up in chat. In chat.
Well, we do have pro stream
that-
strats here, guys.
True.
Very
The
much.
strat is to read chat.
All right, so the first question is, what's the general idea of the podcast? Just news, streaming tips, etc. I'll let Platinum handle that one if she wants.
Yeah, so our podcast is gonna, as the title says, we're gonna talk about all the things. So we do have a kind of what's happening in the town of Valhalla's Most Wanted. Since we are the gang Valhalla's Most Wanted, we like to rummage around the town. So it's just updates on what's going on within there. And then we'll talk about movies, games, events, etc. So again, if you want to email suggestions of what to talk about, because obviously all the things is a lot of things. If you want a focused topic, you can obviously email podcast@valhallasmostwanted.com. But yeah,
Occasionally
no,
a
it's
topic
going to
that
be
might
just
be near and dear to one of our hearts.
a conversation of pretty much all the above. I know next time I definitely want to talk about some indie films, etc. So, and as well as our individual streams, it's going to be a revolving cast. So Wolves and I are the co-hosts, and then who knows who will come up next time? It could be Outlaw again, it could be Wayne's again, but we'll see what happens.
Mystery.
It could be 3 people. It could just be Wolves and I. We just shoot the shit in chat.
just push them out.
Who knows?
Just whatever Platt and I want to talk about.
Yeah, we'll just talk about all the things. So yeah, that's kind of what the podcast is all about. And it's going to be a good time. It'll always be good feels. Probably won't delve into politics too much, but who knows? You just got to stay tuned and find out.
I will not stop talking if we get into politics. So
We will not talk about politics then, because it'll just be Wolves, and I'll just sit there quietly as I don't know anything.
As I rant and rave. All right, the next question we'll direct at Outlaw, since he's one of the original founders. Advice for growing a successful community, also brought up by Kiva.
Thank you,
That's
Kiva,
an
by
interesting
the
one.
way.
So it's Valhalla pretty much started as a group of friends, and we've been really trying to keep it as a community of friends. So getting to know everyone, knowing everyone that's in there, has been, I'd say, a crucial part of it. Making sure everyone, there's open lines of communication, things like that. It still feels like the biggest key to me.
Mm-hmm.
Platinum,
Absolutely.
as another admin. Any thoughts?
On Valhalla as a whole, how awesome we are.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's the foundation, is 4 friends getting together playing games, and so we've really kept that in our foundation. And kind of expanded as a community of streamers who support each other and continue to play games together on Friday with Friends. I think that Friday with Friends is really if you're unsure of who the heck we are, watch us on Friday with Friends, because that's
and
who we are.
Understand.
We're loud,
all
we
will be
drink.
made clear.
Yeah, we play games, we have fun together, and we just laugh. Maybe some rage as well. There's rage in there.
A little bit.
Just a little
Always
bit.
rage.
A little sprinkle.
So yeah, that's who Valhalla's Most Wanted is.
Can I put one more thing for the community thing?
Absolutely.
I strongly believe that if you want to grow a good community, you want to make sure your ideals for your community are clear. You want to make sure that people know what your community is about. So if you're about positivity or you're about making people feel better, you want to make sure you stick to that consistency.
Yeah.
And you want to shut down people who are against that, who people are not a good fit, like toxic people, even if they're your friends, even if they're like subs or anything like important. You need to make sure that they know that I don't want this community to be a toxic community. I want this to be for positivity. And if you're not going to follow those rules, and I know that you may be like a friend of mine since like childbirth, but you got to go if you're not following these like ideals. Because I mean, obviously it's not like a cult. You don't want to like, you follow my ideals or you're wrong, but you want to make sure you're clear on what you want your community to be, and you stand up for it when that is sort of challenged by people in chat.
Yeah. And I got one comment before we move on to the last question, is as Platinum, who's there most of the time with me and a couple other people who are in chatting around, it's not always easy. Sometimes some things comes up and there's a lot of work and a lot of effort that goes into it. It's not always just going to be like, we did a thing and it's easy. Sometimes it's a lot of effort, but it's worth it. Like you work through it, you can only make it better and it'll be worth it.
I'm confused, Wolves. I could have sworn once I started like a Twitch channel, and especially when I joined Valhalla, like I got like 100 viewers the first time. So I don't know exactly what you're talking about. It's super easy. You just hit go and people just come. You know, if you create it, they will come, I think is the phrase. No, of
secret
course.
technique.
It takes a lot of work and it takes time. I would say be patient.
Yep.
Be patient and have fun. That's usually my biggest proponents is have fun, because I feel like a lot of questions is, oh, what should I play, with the mindset of what do people watch? And it's like people love watching passion. Yes, that is from La La Land. However, it's still true. People love watching passion. So if you're passionate about a game, people will see that and they will come back. They come for the game, they stay for the streamer. So that is my advice.
All right, so then the final question for the evening comes from Stealing, who asks, who's your favorite mod and why is it me?
Yes.
So I mean, it feels like he answers it in the question, so I really don't know if we have anything.
Stealing is a first mod, best mod. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, my dear. All right. Well, guys, that was our first Valhalla's Most Wanted podcast. I really appreciate everyone who stopped by. Thank you for reading those silly little tweets and silly little promos that happened. And
thank you for coming.
Yeah. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Outlaw.
Yep.
We kind of did all of our promos of our channels and what's coming up next. So if you did miss those links, we'll go ahead and probably repost them in chat right now.
Throw them in the chat.
And this was successful. Thank you so much,
It was
guys.
a lot of fun.
And we will see you next time, first Sunday of next month. So we will see you in about 30 days.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Goodbye now. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. No, you hang up first.
Oh, my God.